Hello dear students, hope you all are well. Myself Gaganpreet Kaur. We are studying the subject economics and the chapter government budget and economy. In the previous videos or earlier videos regarding this chapter, we have studied about the government budget concept as it includes budget receipts and budget expenditure. In budget receipts, it is categorized into two categories, but capital receipts and revenue receipts, and budget expenditure is also categorized into two categories, that is revenue expenditure and budget capital expenditure. So today in this video I'll start with the topic budget deficit. For studying this topic, you need to have the knowledge regarding revenue expenditure, capital expenditure, and revenue receipts and capital receipts. So, what is a budget deficit? A budget deficit, also called government deficit, refers to a situation when the budget expenditures of the government are greater than the budget receipts. As in the simple language, when the budgeted total expenditure of the government is more than its total receipts, we can say that this is the deficiency, and this deficiency is called budget deficit. Here, the total expenditure include both revenue and capital expenditure, and total receipts include both the revenue and the capital receipts. As on the left of this, you can see that balanced budget. What is known as a balanced budget? If the budgeted receipts are equal to the budgeted expenditure, then it will be regarded as a balanced budget. And if these budget receipts are less than the budget expenditure, means budget expenditure is more than the budget receipts, then it will be regarded as a deficit budget. And what is a surplus budget? When the receipts are more than the budgeted expenditure, it will be regarded as a surplus budget. So I hope the meaning of deficit, the meaning of a balanced budget, and the meaning of surplus budget is clear to you all. Now let's talk about the types and the measurement. It can be like with the reference to the budget of the government of India, there are three important types of the budget deficit. It can be number one, revenue deficit, secondly, fiscal deficit, and the third one is primary deficit. So let's talk about the first category or first type of the budget deficit is revenue deficit. Revenue deficit is the excess of revenue expenditure over revenue receipts. Like when the revenue expenditure of the government is greater than, or I can say more than, its revenue receipts, this situation is called revenue deficit. What are the implications of revenue deficit? Because of revenue deficit, the government may have to cut its expenditure on several welfare programs in the country. This leads to loss of the social welfare, as revenue expenditure of the country is generally on the subsidies, on the pension, on the scholarship, etc. In short, we can say for the welfare of the people. So obviously, if the government does not have enough of the revenue receipts, it will cut short its social welfare program. If the government doesn't have money, why it will go for the welfare programs? Secondly, the government may have to raise funds through borrowings. This raises liability for the government and it lowers its credit worthiness. Like revenue deficiency leads to the government to borrow funds and to pay for its revenue expenditure. This increases the liability for the government and it also lowers further the credit worthiness of the government. The third point, the government may be compelled for disinvestment. Disinvestment means selling its own ownership of the public enterprises. This we have studied earlier. Disinvestment, you can remember the example of Air India I had taken when the government started selling the shares of its PSU, that is public sector undertaking. Example I had taken of Air India when government started selling the share of Air India. So it means the government has started disinvestment, like selling its ownership of the public enterprises. The ownership of these public enterprises may be lost to the foreign companies. As we all know that another way to overcome a revenue deficit is what is to decrease the assets of the government by selling its ownership in public sector undertakings. These shares of the public sector undertakings may be bought by a foreign company, which leads to economic control in the hands of the foreigners. So, these are the three ways of managing revenue deficit: that borrowing from the general public, RBI or rest of the world, disinvestment like selling of the own share, and cut in the expenditure like subsidies in a particular year. Now, the second deficit is fiscal deficit. Now, what is this? Fiscal deficit is the excess of the total expenditure over total receipts other than the borrowings. When the total expenditure of the government is higher than its total receipts, it is called fiscal deficit. But the point to be noted here is that the total receipts does not include borrowings. That is, total receipt is sum total of revenue and capital receipts other than borrowings. Like here you can see that in fiscal deficit, total expenditure like revenue expenditure plus capital expenditure minus total receipts, but revenue plus capital receipts other than borrowings. That borrowings are not included in this. This you can understand with the help of an example. Supposingly, the total expenditure of the government is rupees 10 lakh and its total receipts except for borrowings are rupees 8 lakh. This difference of rupees 2 lakh is the amount which the government will borrow. Thus, for the calculation of fiscal deficit, the calculation of fiscal deficit tells the government how much amount it should borrow. That is why the borrowing is not included in this, because fiscal deficit tells the government that how much amount is required for working or how much amount a government should borrow. Implications of the fiscal budget are: greater fiscal deficit implies greater borrowings by the government. It has following implications. Number 1 is inflationary spiral. It is that borrowing by RBI is often linked to inflationary spiral in the economy. This is how it happens that borrowings from the RBI increases money supply in the economy. Increase in the money supply leads to increase in the general price level, and persistent increase in the general price level leads to inflationary spiral. As the government borrows from RBI, the money supply in the economy increases due to which there will be increase in the general price level, which is called inflation. Thus, this increase in the general price level over a period of time leads to inflation spiral. Second point, national debt. Fiscal deficit leads to national debt. It hinders the GDP growth. Due to government borrowings, the national debt increases. Now, this national debt, along with interest, is to be paid out of the national income. So, this causes an hindrance in the GDP growth, because the same money which was used to pay the debt could be used for development of the economy. The third point here is vicious circle of high fiscal deficit and low GDP growth. As discussed above, that national debt lowers the GDP growth, and this in turn higher the fiscal deficit, which again further lowers the GDP growth. Thus, we are stuck in a vicious circle. The fourth point is crowding out. Now, what is this? That high fiscal deficit leads to crowding out effect. Now, what this situation is, the high borrowings by the government reduces the availability of funds in the market. So, the private investors cannot do much investment in the economy. Thus, the investment in the economy is reduced. Because all the money from the market has been taken by the government, then what is left for investment? This is known as crowding out. The situation is known as crowding out. Accordingly, overall investment in the economy is reduced. Last point is erosion of government credibility. Like high fiscal deficit erodes credibility of the government in the domestic as well as international money market. Now let's understand this. If an individual like you and me takes more and more of the loan, he will be debt ridden. If an individual takes more and more of the loan, he will be debt ridden. And his credit rating is also known as CIBIL score will fall. So, his credibility in the market decreases. In the same way, the high borrowings of the government due to fiscal deficit reduces its credit rating in the market. Thus, the global investors will withdraw their investment from the domestic economy. Thus, the GDP will further reduce. The third category is primary deficit. Now, what is primary deficit? It is the difference between the fiscal deficit and the interest payment. As fiscal deficit, we all know, shows the borrowing requirement of the government along with the interest on the previously taken loan. But if we talk about primary deficit, in primary deficit, it shows the borrowing requirements of the government, but these do not include the interest payment on the past loans. In short, I can say that primary deficit is the difference between the current year expenditure and the current year receipts only. So this is done. Implications of this are written as same, just like physical deficit. This difference you can easily do. And here is also another topic for 1 minute. We will revise it that what is a balanced budget? A balanced budget is what? In which the government receipts are equal to the government expenditure. And if I talk about a unbalanced budget, in unbalanced budget, it is a situation whether there will be a surplus or there will be a deficiency. In surplus, the receipts will be higher than the government expenditure, and in deficit, as we have studied, the expenditure will be higher than the government receipts. So this is it for this chapter. Keep studying, keep learning, keep revising. Thank you, beta.